Chapter 5, The Jelly Bean Game. Lucille's daddy clapped his hands real loud. Boys and girls, please find a seat at one of the picnic tables. Lunch will be served shortly, he called. I waited to see where Sheldon was going. May waited too, because both of us had to keep track of that guy, of course. Only too bad for me, because as soon as Sheldon picked a spot, Lucille sat down next to him, and vroom! May slid on the other slide, and I got shut out. Wait! Hold it! Not fair, I said. Then I quick tried to squeeze myself in between May and Sheldon, but May would not budge herself. I did a grrr face at her. May hissed like a snake. I stood there very puzzled. I did not actually have a comeback for that hiss. Finally, I went to the other side of the table and I sat down across from them. That dumb May. I grumped to just myself. She keeps getting one step ahead of me today. Plus Sheldon is one step ahead of me too. I looked across the table. Lucille was whispering to Sheldon very secret. May leaned her head over and she listened through Sheldon's other ear. Whispers can come right through Sheldon's head, apparently. I put my chin in my hands. I don't stand a chance in this stupid egg hunt, I said to Herb. He gave me a little pat. Sometimes a little pat is all a friend can do. Only guess what? Just then something very nice happened, and it's called Lucille's Nana walked over to where I was sitting, and she sat in a chair at the end of the table. I jumped up real thrilled. Nana! Nana! Look! Look, it's me. It's Junie B. Jones, and you are sitting right exactly next to me, I shouted. Nana glanced her eyes at Lucille's mother and daddy. Yes, I know, dear. I lost the coin toss, she said, kind of annoyed. I sat back and tickled her arm. This reminds me of when we ate dinner together last year, I said. This was very fun, except I accidentally broke your crystal glass. Remember that, Nana? Huh? Do you remember? The Nana nodded. Oh, yes, I remember, she said. I thought back. Plus, I accidentally busted your feather pillow, and if I'm not mistaken, I spilled beanie weenies on your expensive linen tablecloth, I said. And then Nana looked at me. You're not mistaken, she said back. I smiled and patted her hand. Good times, I said real soft. May heard me talking. Well, Lucille and I are going to have good times too, right, Lucille? When I come to swim in her pool, that will really be good times, she said. Sheldon looked at her and grinned. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, May, he said. And Nana did a little chuckle. I think you mean hatch, dear. It's don't count your chickens before they're hatched, not hashed, she said. Sheldon raised his eyebrows. Really? Are you sure? Because at our house, my Aunt Bunny brings chicken hash for dinner every Sunday, he said. Chicken hash is her specialty. He smiled real proud. Aunt Bunny was a chef in person, he said, and Nana's face went funny. He lowered her head to the table, and she rested her cheek on my napkin. I leaned my face down next to her. Speaking of bunnies, Lucille said the Easter Bunny would be here today, only I haven't actually seen him yet, and so where is he, Nana, anyway, I asked. Lucille did a huffy at me. Nosy Junie B. Jones, why do you have to ask that question, she said. My Nana does not want to talk about it. Do you, Nana? She made a teensy little mistake about the bunny and don't want anyone to know about how you almost ruined the party. And Nana did a groan. Lucille kept on talking. My Nana was in charge of hiring the Easter Bunny, only instead of hiring the real bunny, she hired a cheap fake bunny. Right, Nana? Nana did not reply. Lucille went on. The fake bunny came to our house yesterday to get his pay. Only his fur was real matty and the top of his ear was chewed off, but he told my Nana that he freshened up nicely. And so Nana gave him cash money in advance, and he hopped out the front door and he never came back. And Nana raised her head. Thank you, Lucille, she said. Thank you for sharing that with everyone. You're welcome, Nana. And Lucille said very pleasant, you're welcome. And Nana rolled her eyes. Lucille does not understand sarcastic, I believe. Just then, Lucille's daddy stood up at the picnic table, and he said it was time to get the show on the road. He held up a silver bell and rang it in the air. Ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling. Then boom, waiters started bringing food from all over the place, and it was delicious food. There were barbecued hamburgers and hot dogs and crispy chicken fingers and crunchy salad and yummy potato chips and Swedish pickles, but there were also delicious, devilicious eggs. Whoa, what a spread, I said. I stuffed a devilish egg in my mouth, and I stuffed a pickle and some chips and a giant chicken finger. I didn't stop stuffing for a real long time. Then finally I leaned back and I rubbed my big fat tummy. Phew! I am about to bust a gusset, I said. Are you, Nana? Huh? Are you about to bust a gusset too? Then Nana frowned her eyebrows. Ladies don't bust gussets, she said. I was surprised to hear that information. Really? I said. Then what do ladies bust? Roger raised his hand. At our house, we bust our guts, he said. Herb smiled. At our house, we bust our buttons, he said. Sheldon stood up. At our house, we just unzip our pants, he said. After that, everyone at the table laughed and laughed, except for not Nana. Finally, all of us got finished eating, and the waiters took our plates away. Then wow-wee, wow-wow. Lucille's dad brought out the most beautiful box I've ever saw. It was wrapped in a shiny yellow paper and twirly ribbons. He held it high into the air so all of us could see. Whoa, whose birthday is it? I shouted real loud. Lucille jumped up and giggled. It's not a birthday present, Junie B. It's a game prize, she said. Before we hunt for eggs, we're going to play a very fun game, and whoever wins the prize will get the thrill of a lifetime, right, Daddy? And Daddy smiled. Well, we certainly hope the winner will be thrilled, he said. It's a pretty good prize, we think. Just then, he put the box down, and he pulled a jar of jelly beans out of the paper bag. This game is called Jelly Bean Game, he said. Can everyone see all of the jelly beans in the jar? We've got lots of colors, don't we? We've got red and yellow, blue, black, green, orange, white. He stopped and held up his finger. But, he said, in this whole big jar of jelly beans, there's only one purple one. All of us made a hushy sound. Ooh, he said, just one purple one? And Daddy smiled. Then he put the jar back to the bag so we couldn't see the colors anymore. Okay, now I'm going to walk around to each picnic table and each of you will have a chance to reach into the jar and pull out one jelly bean. But remember, you may only pull out one, okay? Okay, we hollered, okay, okay. Lucille hurried over and held up the beautiful box. And remember this too, the person to pull out the purple jelly bean will get this prize, she said, the thrill of a lifetime. We all clapped and clapped. Then we bounced and giggled and wiggled and clapped, and we waited for the jelly bean jar to come to us. It was the most nervousest wait of my life, I think. Because what if someone got the purple jelly bean before I even got my turn, and that would ruin my whole entire chance? I put my hands in front of my eyes, then I peeked through my fingers and I watched the children pick. Roger's table was first. He picked a red bean. Then Camille picked an orange bean, and Chanel picked a green bean. Shirley picked a blue. My table came next. My heart beat faster and faster, and Jose picked a yellow, and Lenny picked a white, and May picked another white one, and Sheldon picked a black one. Then it was my turn at last. It was time for me. My heart was pounding like crazy. I bent over and I did some deep breathing. The daddy held out the bag to me. I breathed some more. Okay, Junie B, he said, anytime now. I stood up and did a gulp. Then very slowly, I reached my hand inside and felt all around for the purple one. I wrinkled my eyebrows, real curious. What does purple feel like, I wonder, I said just to myself. The daddy said, please hurry up. I swished my fingers through the air some more. Then all of a sudden I tell you, it felt purple. It felt roundish and beanish and purplish. I grabbed it real tight. Then I pulled it out of the jar and I opened my fingers, and guess what? Guess what? Guess what? Guess you're gonna have to wait for the next chapter to find out what happened.